Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, dear guests. Allow me to welcome you all from Bratislava, Slovakia, to our webinar devoted to smart industry solutions in Slovakia and Catalonia, which is organized by SARIO, Slovak Investment and Trade Development Agency, together with Catalonia Investment and Trade, precisely its Central European office in Warsaw, Poland. My name is Marek Kopanicki, and I will be one of the moderators of this event. I work as a consultant here in SARIO and in innovation services lead, and as said, will be a moderator of this event together with my colleague Michal Chabasiewicz from Catalonia Investment and Trade. Some of you might be surprised that Slovakia is one of the most industrialized countries in the European Union, where all industries represent more than 30% of our GDP. Slovakia is also the world leader in terms of cars produced per capita, and its task for this decade is to demonstrate Industry 4.0 readiness and competitive potential for R&D capacities and expertise across the economy. I'm not going further in this regard, as I'm sure that you will definitely find out more about these topics from the presentation of my colleague Lucia in a few moments. Afterwards, there are going to be two other presentations of smart industry or smart factory examples, one of which is going to be given by Mr. Malener, Managing Director of Broze Prievidza, a truly smart factory, moreover located in my hometown, Prievidza. Still speaking from the Slovak perspective, I'm glad that in the second hour there will be 3 Slovak innovative companies presenting their technologically very advanced solutions, which I believe might attract your attention as well. I firmly believe that the well-prepared content of this online event will be fruitful for you. And now please let me pass the floor to my co-moderator, Mr. Michal Chabasiewicz, who will provide you with a short digest of the Catalan speakers and some other technical instructions. Thank you, Michal. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Marek. My name is Michal Chabasiewicz, and I'm the director of Catalonia Trade and Investment Office in Warsaw. I'm really glad that together with SARIO we can prepare this webinar. During this session, we will see the potential of Slovak and Catalonia Industry 4.0, and we could get closer to technologies that will present our companies. Our office goal is to help Catalan companies to develop in the foreign markets. From our office in Warsaw, we've been working over 25 years in Poland, and since 2 years, we are also glad to be able to work in the Slovak Republic and then Czech Republic. So this is actually the first attempt to do the webinar devoted to the opportunities to cooperate with Slovak companies and Catalan companies that we organize, and we are very hopeful that this will be the first of the sessions and first of the meetings of these types, and that we will in the future we will continue to bring Slovak and Catalan companies together. During this session, please don't hesitate to ask questions. It will be possible via the Q&A button at the lower part of the screen. At the end of the session, so about 11:45, we will read all the questions aloud, and you will be able to hear the answers. For all of you that are registered to this webinar, in a couple of days, we will also publish on Axiom webpage the videos and the presentation, so we will let you know via emails when it is available. So we will start with a presentation of my colleague Inma Rodriguez that will give you the first insight to Catalan Industry 4.0 ecosystem. Then Lucia Bogdanova from SARIO will talk about the Slovak R&D innovation sector. And then Marek mentioned the Slovak companies, and from our part, we will have ABB, Sigma, Ingenieria Mapex, and AEI Innova. So I will give the floor to Inma Rodriguez that will give you the first photography of Industry 4.0 in Catalonia. Inma, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Good morning, it's a pleasure to be here today. As commented, in the next 15 minutes, I'll make a presentation in which you will discover why Catalonia is one of the leading hubs in Europe in terms of Industry 4.0 capabilities. I will share my screen now. Can you confirm it's okay, Michal? Can you see it? Okay. So first of all, I would like to introduce very quickly our institution. We're the Catalan government agency for business competitiveness, Acció, or Catalonia Trade and Investment. And what we do is we help companies with three main pillars, which are trade, investment, and innovation. We support Catalan companies to export and innovate, and we promote foreign investment into our region from our public agency. To do that, we have our headquarters in Barcelona, which is, I have to say, it's very hot today in Barcelona. We have summer is coming very quickly. And so we have headquarters in Barcelona, but we have also the support of our network of 40 offices abroad to help Catalan companies to export, innovate, and also foreign companies to come into our region. Catalonia can be defined as a combination of 5 main assets. First, as we share with Slovakia one main asset, which is a powerful industrial base. For us, industry is our core, the core of our industry, and we try to enhance this industrial base, industrial strength of our companies. But we are also becoming a world-class tech hub. Technology is one of the main issues. So this combination of industry and technology makes Catalonia the fact that we are becoming actually a world-class tech hub. The third factor would be the strategic location of our region within Europe. Thanks to this strategic location, we have an excellent location in order for the establishment of logistics center from which companies can serve the European markets. The fourth main asset would be a quality of life. Mild weather is another pulling point to attract talent to live and work in Barcelona. And finally, we are well known because our pro-business environment. From the government of Catalonia, we try to support companies in order to make their business more competitive in our region. As I said, Catalonia is the Spanish industrial powerhouse. With only 6.3% of the Spanish territory, we generate, and 16% of the Spanish population, we generate 20% of the Spanish GDP, and this reaches 25% of industrial Spanish in total. In terms of our concentration of industry, Marek said at the beginning and that in Slovakia they have 40%, so their figures are a little bit higher than ours. But in our case, industry, as I said, is one of our main assets. We care for industry, and industry represents practically 20% of Catalan GDP. But this 20% reaches 50% when we add to the manufacturing, the traditional manufacturing, all those services linked to industry. Services such as, for example, logistics, which of course is necessary for the industrial process. In Catalonia, we have a very diversified business economy, and we have companies in almost every sector of the economy. But the main sectors of our industry are the ones that you can see on this slide. First sector would be food, second chemical, in third place automotive, life sciences, and ICT, which is becoming also, and it's growing at a very high rate. This traditional industry is complemented by a rising startup ecosystem. In Catalonia, we have already more than 1,700 startups, and Catalonia is the 4th startup ecosystem in the European Union and the 2nd startup ecosystem preferred for startup founders to set up their startup in the European region. We already have 4 unicorns in Catalonia: Let's Go, Globo, eDreams, and Adevinta. And this unicorns ecosystem is beginning to grow. In this startup ecosystem, technology, of course, plays a very important role. And I must add that this startup ecosystem provides flexibility also for our industrial ecosystem, because helps Catalan companies to find the most suitable solution for their business need thanks to our startups. Let's move now to the second part of the presentation, in which I will talk a little bit more about what is happening in Catalonia in terms of Industry 4.0. To do that, I will explain the main results of our report on Industry 4.0 that we have produced from Catalonia Trade and Investment. We will find out how is the ecosystem of Catalan companies that offer solutions in the technologies linked to Industry 4.0. And here we can see how this 4.0 ecosystem looks like. We have analyzed a map in this report I was commenting. Those three components we can see here in the value chain. We have analyzed and identified solution providers, distributors, and integrators in Catalonia that provide solution for Industry 4.0. I will give the figures in just 1 minute, but of course, this supply, all of those companies are companies on the supply side, let's say. What they do is that they provide services to the demand, to the end users, to the several industries, several sectors of the Catalan economy. But this ecosystem is, of course, complemented by several entities that facilitate training, transfer of technology, clusters, associations, and other entities that enhance our Catalan ecosystem. In this report, we have identified that in Catalonia, we have 1,111 companies that offer solutions linked to Industry 4.0. As I said, here we're considering companies from the supply point of view, not demand. And those 1,111 companies generate a turnover of 5.5 billion euros and generate employees. They generate 26,000 employees. So this is a relevant number in our economy. In 2017, when the term Industry 4.0 began to sound, and we began to realize how the importance to link industry and technology, we made a first report and we identified 365 companies offering those kind of solutions. So we can see that 4 years later, this solution providers ecosystem has multiplied by threefold. In terms of technologies, the distribution is the following. Cybersecurity is a technology that concentrates the largest amount of companies, as we can see on the table on the left of the slide. Cybersecurity is the technology devoted to Industry 4.0, in which we have the highest concentration of companies providing solutions. Second one would be IoT with those 251 companies, and third one would be big data. In contrast, if we have a look at the right, we can see that the technology that generates the highest amount of turnover is IoT, followed by artificial intelligence and cybersecurity in third place. So the technology with the biggest number of companies is cybersecurity, but IoT is the technology with the highest turnover linked to this technology. In this slide, we find some examples of companies that offer solutions in the Industry 4.0 in Catalonia. Of course, we have not been able to include the 1,111 companies, but we do find here some examples. And I believe this slide shows that in Catalonia, we have a very balanced combination between multinational companies that have some kind of production facility, R&D facility here in Catalonia to develop their services, but also a very powerful industrial base made by SMEs and startups, as we commented in just one moment ago. Just to highlight some cases, we don't have time to signal all those companies or to stop at all those technologies. But for example, in terms of additive manufacturing, we are really strong in Catalonia. For example, we have here the world R&D center for large printers of Hewlett Packard. So this is one of the big infrastructures or R&D centers in Catalonia linked to this technology with HP, but we have also relevant presence of, for example, multinationals such as Epson, Ricoh, or Renishaw. In terms of robotics, we are going to hear the case of ABB just in some minutes, and I think this is one very interesting case. But in terms of robotics, one of the most relevant issues for me is that the main robots manufacturers in the world do have some kind of presence in Catalonia, some industrial or commercial presence. For example, KUKA, Fanuc, Yaskawa, Universal Robots. But we do have also other SMEs and startups that are doing really well, such as, for example, PAL Robotics. What else? In terms, for example, of IoT, we saw that this is the technology that generates the highest turnover in Catalonia, and we are going to hear the case of MAPEX and Sigma Industrial Precision and their IoT experiences in just one moment. So we are going to get to know much more about it in just a moment. For example, in DLT blockchain. In blockchain, Catalonia is also growing at high rates of growth. And I would say that, for example, in the case of DLT, startups such as BlockTag, Botum, Verse are dynamizing very much this technology. Well, as you can see, a very diversified ecosystem, an ecosystem that provides solutions in all the technologies linked to Industry 4.0. And well, as I said, you will get to know some additional examples of some of those Catalan companies in just a moment. And so I think it will be more interesting to hear their experiences, their cases. Well, as I said before, the ecosystem of Industry 4.0 in Catalonia is completed by some clusters that are also putting Industry 4.0 as a priority, such as, for example, SECFO, that's the photonics cluster in Catalonia, or the digital cluster, for example. But business and professional associations, both, some of them are our partners in our ProAxio for Industry 4.0 program of Axio. So we work together, we try to work together with some entities such as, for example, PIMEC, the College of Industrial Engineers of Catalonia, Foment del Treball, or the Catalan Chamber of Commerce, in order to make this Industry 4.0 more real into our industry, into our ecosystem. And of course, trade fairs also are really important to complete our ecosystem. Just like last week, we had advanced factories in Barcelona being very successful. It was like the first 100 face-to-face trade fair after the pandemic, and we were making a presentation there last week too, and it was really happy. I was really happy to see that we are starting to overcome this pandemic and coming a little bit back to normal step by step. Of course, our ecosystem has a large number of research centers specialized in the different technologies linked to Industry 4.0. Being the biggest technology centers in Catalonia are Eurecat and Leitat. Let's say those are the biggest one, but we have top-level research centers and infrastructure supporting the industry needs. So in the full version of the report, of this report I'm sharing now, you can have a look to a more detailed specialization of those centers and which are the solutions they can provide to your companies. And finally, to end the presentation, I would like to mention very quickly the sectors which are already applying Industry 4.0 at higher rates. According to the analysis we made, the most widely used sector of Industry 4.0 solutions today is the metal sector that we have here at first place, and probably linked to automotive. It's metal, but it's I must say it's also very linked to automotive. The second is food, and the third one is logistics. So companies in Catalonia, industries in Catalonia, manufacturing are becoming every time more and more smart, more and more focus to Industry 4.0. And well, I'll end my presentation here. You can download the full report I have been sharing with you at our website, www.catalonia.com. And for more details about the capabilities of Catalan companies in the technologies linked to Industry 4.0, you have also at your disposal the technology reports of Catalonia Trade and Investment that we have here on the left part of the slide. And in these reports, we go more in depth into those technologies linked to Industry 4.0 and which are the strengths and how is the ecosystem of Catalan companies linked to those technological solutions. So thank you very much for your time, and I hope it was interesting. Thank you.
Yes, Inma, it was not only interesting, it was very comprehensive. I really like that, and I would like to read also that report afterwards. I know we've been in touch for a few months already, and I found out many appealing information right there in your presentation. And I also very happy that you mentioned this Advanced Factory Expo and event, because I personally participated in it 2 years ago. It was right before the pandemics in March 2019. So I'm very happy that it was able to organize and to be organized this year again in person and successfully. Thank you for that once again. And now let me introduce my colleague Lucia Bogdanova, who is sitting right here next to me and who is going to present R&D and innovation sector in Slovakia. So please, Lucia, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Marek. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lucia Bogdanova, and I work as a consultant at the Slovak Investment and Trade Development Agency, SARIO. And today I will be talking about the R&D and innovation potential in Slovakia. So first of all, let me tell you a couple of key figures. So despite Slovakia being viewed as an industrial production powerhouse, we see our future mainly in the high value-added projects and investments, and especially in the research and development and innovation operations field. So currently there are more than 35,000 people employed directly in the Slovak R&D sector, and a total number of over 500 private or public R&D organizations and units, and this number is steadily growing. So the key reasons why the companies decide to set up their R&D facilities in Slovakia is that we have a diverse pool of accessible R&D personnel at affordable cost. We have a lot of universities that provide qualified graduates with multidisciplinary skill set, and we also have a strong, historically strong tradition in engineering and industrial research. We also have a broad existing public and private network and infrastructure, and a well-established cooperation between the industries and the domestic universities. And also our government is really supportive. So it's trying to steadily increase the Slovak potential and the business environment. So we have attractive R&D incentives and a special R&D tax regimes. And I think that our track record and the success stories, for some of them you will hear later on, I think are clearly the proof of the safe investment environment of our country. We also belong to the top countries with the highest number of installed robots in the manufacturing industries. The car and the electrical engineering are the leaders in implementing the robotic devices, and these robots are mostly implementing in handling, welding, painting, logistic, or as service robots. We have a diversified manufacturing sector with the high-tech industries, and the top manufacturing sectors in Slovakia are the following. First of all is the mechanical engineering, including the automotive, rubber, pharmaceutical, and chemical industry, electronics, followed by the metallurgy, manufacture of food products, and the wood processing and the paper industry. The employment in the high technology manufacturing sectors and the knowledge-intensive services as a share of total employment is the highest in the region with 46%. So we have a high proportion of high added value jobs. And on this slide, you can see some of the examples of some of the companies that decided to set up their R&D facilities in Slovakia. As you can see, they all started with their manufacturing side, And as they realized or discovered the potential of Slovakia, they decided to set up their shared service center over here. And later on, they also set up their R&D centers. On this slide, you can see more of the examples of the corporate R&D centers. As you can see, we really have a lot of them, and they are very well diversified across the whole country. So now I'm getting to the second part of my presentation, which are the innovation services. So first of all, what are our innovation services? So the aim of these services is basically the matching of the Slovak technology companies with the major corporates at home and as well as abroad. And they are dedicated to the big companies that are seeking to modernize and improve their efficiency of their operations and processes. And also for the Slovak technology companies or the research institutes that are able to supply, integrate, and maintain these solutions for the demanding companies. These innovation services are mostly focused on the industrial production, technology and R&D centers, but also the IT and the business service centers. So the main reason why we have these innovation services is that we see an increased interest in the Industry 4.0. And we're also trying to raise the inflow of the capital-intensive investment to Slovakia. And why Sario, why our agency is the one doing it? It is because we have a close contact with incoming and already established investors in Slovakia. So we have a direct outreach to the whole Slovak business environment. We also have a long-term expertise with the cooperation and sourcing event, and also experience and expertise in the investment aid consultancy. So how we do it? First of all, together with the client, we have to identify the priority areas of interest or the problems. Then we prepare a tailor-made long list of the Slovak technology companies, and together with the client, we prepare a short list of these companies. Later on, we help with the organization of a moderated pitching event together with the participation of the client and the selected technology companies. And further on, we help with the facilitation of the follow-up communication and the cooperation. So we have our innovation services since September 2017. And since then, we co-organized 27 innovation events with the participation of more than 20 clients and 80 Slovak companies. And in total, we prepared over 160 shortlisted presentations of Slovak companies in front of the international corporations. And our audience was over 2,000 people. So last but not least, what are the possible areas of interest of the companies? So it can be augmented or virtual reality, big data, the predictive maintenance, cybersecurity or cloud solutions, the automatization and robotization of the processes, artificial intelligence in general, or various kinds of software solutions. So I think this is everything from my side. I would like to thank you for your attention, and I hope you will enjoy the rest of today's seminar.
Thanks very much, Lucia. It was really impressive because what struck me the most was the number of jobs, number of employees in the R&D sector, which is really impressive, like 35,000. It's really something. And the other thing that I would like to underline after your presentations that for me was really impressive is also the number of high added value jobs in the total number, because I think it's something really hard to reach. We can see this that is not that easy in all the countries of our part of Europe. So it's really I think that Slovakia may be a good example. Thank you very much. I think with this presentation, Lucia, you could bring Slovakia closer to the Catalan participants, and it was really very good photography of the sector. Right now, I will give the floor to Mr. Ricardo Martin, Director of the Communications and Government Relations in ABB. ABB is, without any shade of doubt, a great example of a smart factory in Catalonia. Ricardo Martin, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Michal. Good morning. Bon dia, dobre rano. I hope I pronounce it well. So let me share my screen. I'm so glad to be here today, sharing our best practice, or let's say what we have in Catalonia that is so good. Can you see my presentation right now? Check. Michal, Lucia, can you confirm you can see my presentation?
Yes, it's okay.
Full screen?
It's not on full screen, so I think you should put it on
Okay.
display settings maybe.
Yeah, let me check 1 second. 1 second. Let me try it again.
Always. I just take this opportunity to remind that we can all pose questions via the Q&A part in the lower part of the screen. So please don't hesitate to ask any questions. And at about 11:45, we will have the Q&A session, and in which we will answer all the questions.
Okay. Save it now. Oh. 8. Okay, 1 second, because I can check. I'm trying to change the view, but the last.
Mark, can you help us with that, please? Mark, maybe.
Yes, you have to go to display settings.
Display settings.
Yeah, the problem is cannot see because there is the bar of.
On the upper bar, when you have like close to the show taskbar. Okay, show taskbar, and on the right part you have display settings, right? Close to the show taskbar.
1 second.
The upper part, right?
I cannot see. Sorry.
No worries. Just
now display settings, swap. Now you can see it. Can you see it?
No, not really.
Okay, 1 second. I'm going to try it again. Sorry for these minutes.
Okay.
Okay, let me try it again. How can I hide the zoom bar?
Mark, can you help?
Sorry, what are you asking for?
The bar of the program, the top bar of the program.
Well, you should like click on you can see the show taskbar.
Yeah.
And then on the right side you can see display settings and end slideshow. No,
I mean the Zoom, this application bar, because it's covering the PowerPoint bar, so I cannot.
Okay, you just have to click on the screen and it may disappear.
It seems technical, a little bit of technical difficulties. Sorry.
Don't worry.
Okay, let me do one thing. I'm going to try this more simple. Can you see it now?
Okay, it's perfect now.
Perfect. Okay. Okay, so thank you. I'm sorry for this couple of minutes lost with the technical difficulties. So I'm going to share with you our ABB Customer Innovation Center at Barcelona. First of all, I would like to start with a brief introduction of ABB. So who we are. I think Inma and also Mitchell made already an introduction, but we are a technology company. We are headquartered globally in Zurich, in Switzerland, and we are operating in more than 100 countries. We have around 105,000 employees worldwide, spread worldwide, and this is quite relevant because of what I'm going to explain you afterwards in a couple of minutes. So we are mainly focused on automation and electrical technologies like robotics, like industrial automation, motion, and also, as I mentioned, electrification technologies, low voltage, domotics, including also the electric vehicle charging infrastructures. So as I explained to you, we are headquartered in Switzerland, present in more than 100 countries and more than 1,000 employees. This is globally. We have 4 large business areas. We have the motion business area. So we provide from this area motors and drives worldwide, or motion systems combining motors and drives and digital solutions. We have electrification, low voltage, domotics, electric vehicle charging, including electric buses charging, infrastructure, industrial automation that's more focused on the process automation of industries, focus on process, what we call process industries. And we have the 4 business areas, that's robotics and discrete automation. In Spain, we have close to 1,400 employees, about 400 million euros on revenues every year, and we have 5 production engineering centers in Spain, in Madrid, in the Basque Country, and in Catalonia. And you can see here that we started operating in Spain in 1917. It is more than 100 years ago, and we started operating in Catalonia. So our initial factory of ABB was established in Catalonia, in concrete in Sabadell. So as you can see, our record or our presence in Catalonia is coming from long ago. So what we do have actually in Catalonia, we have our main center is in Sant Quirze del Vallès. It's very close to Barcelona. It's about 15 minutes driving to Barcelona. It's very well connected also by public transportation, and our main center is there. What I'm going to show you afterwards, or the jewel of ABB. Here is our customer innovation center, but we have much more in Catalonia because our center in Sant Quirze del Vallès is so large. So we have the representation of the 4 business areas. We have our headquarters of motion in Spain there in Catalonia. We have also our headquarters of robotics and discrete automation there in Sant Quirze del Vallès, and we have also representation of the process automation business area and also the electrification business area. In totally in Catalonia, we are employing about 500 people, and indirectly we generate an employment about more than 1,000 people. So again, just a little bit of context of what we are doing at what we have in Catalonia. So going to the Customer Innovation Center in Sant Quirze del Vallès, before you can see anything about this center, I would like to very briefly explain how we reached it, how we got this Customer Innovation Center in Catalonia, in concretely in Barcelona, in Sant Quirze, because the story is so interesting, and it reflects how Catalonia, from our point of view, is has the right ecosystem for investment, at least from our perspective in industrial investment. So it is not easy, as you can imagine, in a company operating in 100 countries to attract investment to a concrete country, because you have a lot of internal competitiveness. So every country wants to attract investment from the global business areas to locally to the country. So it is tough to attract investment to a concrete region or country in such a large company like ABB, and I can imagine in other large company it's happening the same way. So how we reached it, how we were able to build this center in Catalonia. First of all, I think we have key three elements that are combined to attract investment. The first element is the talent, of course, because you cannot attract investment if you don't have talent locally. And some years ago, in 2015, if I'm not wrong, we bought a startup, a Barcelona startup. It was called Noob 3D. And this startup, it was focused on metrology. Metrology is a technology that we can use combined with robotics for checking the quality of many industrial processes. So we invested on it. We bought it. We bought this startup, and this is just an example of how many talents we can have there. We can have in Catalonia. We have a rich ecosystem of startups, and we, the large companies, can benefit of that. So in this case, we integrated these metrology solutions with our robotic solutions, and now we are offering a complete packages of quality control, applying both technologies, and we are actually exporting these technologies from Barcelona to worldwide to control the technology, to control the quality of many industrial processes. So the first element is talent. The second element that made it possible, to build this center in Barcelona possible, was the institutional support. The decision making in the large companies is complex. So to attract the investment locally, you need a strong institutional support, and we got it. So before building up this center in Barcelona, we established in Barcelona the global expertise center for digital solution in robotics. We established this global global expertise center there in Barcelona before, in the Sant Quirze del Vallès center, even before building the customer innovation center. We have solutions like what we call the robotics Facebook. We call it because all the robots are connected. So we are practicing through this platform, through a digital platform that we compare it with the Facebook, and they are talking with other robots in the platform, and they are learning from each other. So we are practicing machine learning in this platform, and this kind of solution, this kind of digital solutions for robotics, we are managing and we are developing them for the global market, for all the markets worldwide. We are developing them from Barcelona, and to reach or to get this center placed in Barcelona was thanks to the support to the Catalonia government, in this case through Axio, because they supported us on explaining our robotics and discrete automation business area, that it actually could work there. So we could actually work from Barcelona because we had the talent, we have the right infrastructures. And the third element that I wanted to comment is the ecosystem. Ilma commented it very well, but if we want to develop and if we want to innovate on solutions for all industries, we need to have all these industries close to us. And in Barcelona, we have that. So that's the reason why we installed it. We got there the global digital solutions center for, or digital center or digital expertise center for robotics, for digital solution for robotics. And afterwards, it was so relevant to install there, to got the installation there of the customer innovation center. So these three key elements, talent, institutional support, and of course, a well-established industrial ecosystem were key to start or to build up this customer innovation center in Barcelona. And this is also a success story because in the same place where our customer innovation center is located nowadays, we had some years ago an electric motors factory there, and due to the economic crisis in 2008, we had to shut it down. We had to shut the factory down, and we lost employment. And now we have in the same place installed the customer innovation center that adds much more value in terms of employment, in terms of high qualified employment to the region, and also it's a driver to enhance the digital transformation of the industries in Catalonia, in Spain, and also we want to make out of it a global hub for digital transformation, mostly focused in robotics, but also applied to other technologies like the ones I commented to you before. So before this introduction and how we got it and how we made it possible, I want to start with you a brief video of this center. So a video, they always say that video is more, or an image can say more than 1,000 words. So you can see it here.
El CIC podríamos decir que es un showroom, es un centro de desarrollo de aplicaciones y es un centro de desarrollo del talento. Queremos que el CIC sea un espacio colaborativo, un espacio abierto, de valor añadido, en el que compartir retos, compartir aventuras y negocios con nuestros clientes y con el entorno. Es un centro en el que queremos que compartan experiencias y retos, tanto clientes que vengan aquí con su necesidad y nosotros podamos desarrollar la mejor solución, como universidades o centros tecnológicos, mediante los cuales trabajar con nuevas tecnologías que poder mover desde el mundo universitario al mundo industrial, como el propio mundo ABB, que puede venir aquí a desarrollar y trabajar con sus clientes en un marco excepcional de innovación. Estaremos expuestos a mucho talento que va a venir desde fuera hasta ABB. Y también nuestros clientes estarán expuestos a talento que de ABB exportamos hacia el exterior. Para Barcelona, el CIC representa una unidad de negocio más que viene a complementar toda nuestra oferta en cuanto a productos y servicios, con el acento digital que queremos darle desde el Centro de Innovación.
Okay, so the video is in Spanish, but don't worry, because in a few slides I'm going to explain you what our robotics manager Sergio was commenting. So what we want to do in this center, so the Customer Innovation Center, first of all, you need to know that is our first innovative center for collaborative robots in Europe. And it has three main functionalities, or three main purposes. Development of digital solutions and applications, digital knowledge, to share the digital knowledge, and to serve as an innovative space to create them and to serve as a showroom, not just for ABB, but for all for partners and other companies. So the first function is to develop digital solutions and applications. So what we are doing there, what we are doing is to bring our customers and our partners and other companies, other industries, and to work together in developing technology solutions there. So together we are making co-creation there. We are working with companies like HP, for instance, in 3D printing through robotics and 3D production. But this is just an example. We are having there a space to bring our customers, to bring our partners, and to bring other entities like universities, for instance, and create together with them and innovate and develop new solutions, new technology solutions with them. This is one of the functions. The second function is to share the knowledge, because we think that it's very important not just to create knowledge, but to share it. We are using this center as a booster for the digital transformation in Catalonia, but again, not just in Catalonia, in Spain, and we are also working with projects worldwide. So we are trying that this center to become a hub on digital transformation and to be used to share knowledge with among companies, among public institutions, but also universities, high schools, etc. So this is the second purpose or the second target for this center. And the third target of this center is, of course, to be a showroom, of our solutions, our digital and technology solutions, like collaborative robotics, but also other solutions like our digital powertrain in motion, like our automation technologies for process industries, etc. But we also want, and we offer this center for other companies, partners, and other institutions to show their solutions, to show what they are working on in terms of technology innovation for industries and infrastructures. And this will be the third target of this center. And actually the results we had this 2020 that was awkward, but we started to work on it. Also, we inaugurated it officially at the beginning of 2020. We started working on this center from the second half of 2019, and we have a lot of we already have a lot of projects and a lot of activities ongoing there in this center. And I also invite you to reach us and to contact us and to be part of this center by co-creating with us or by sharing technology with us and with other entities. And I hope I didn't take so much time. So thank you, Mitchell, and thank you all the participants. And I hope this was interesting for all of you.
Thank you, Ricardo. And due to shortage of time, without my next comments, I will pass the floor to Mr. Malener, Managing Director of Brose Prievidza. So please, Mr. Malener, the floor is yours. Yes, I confirm that we can see your presentation. But we cannot hear you. No, I can see you. I can see your presentation, but we cannot hear you. Maybe now?
Mark, can you please check the settings and help Axel with that, Mark?
Yes, Axel, do you have your microphone open? Okay.
It's connecting to audio, I guess. So,
yes. Okay. Okay, I will ask you to unmute. So please accept it so that. Okay.
No, we cannot hear you.
I'm trying to ask you to unmute yourself, please.
Meanwhile, I just want to remind all the participants that you can ask questions via the Q&A part.
Okay, now you should be able to hear me.
Yeah,
yes,
that's perfect. Thank you.
Okay, that's good. Good. So let's go with the presentation because we are a little bit tight with the time. So good. So mobile maintenance in Previsa, this is a digital development that we put on a good year ago or 1.5 years ago. So our problem always was that the maintenance technicians, we have a pretty big factory here, 1,400 employees and more than 400 machines. So that the mobile maintenance is helped us to organize the response to problems in the machines and also helped us to organize the complete system that we need. I turn it off here. This is controls my nerves. So the thing that we needed, so the thing that we needed here was organization support. This is why we programmed a complete system where we put mobile maintenance that we called mobile maintenance. I will show you how it works. Also, we went to a paperless approach. So we have no more paper in maintenance, nothing to sign on a piece of paper. And I will show you now how it works. This is a mobile system where every maintenance technician has all the technology needed. So they do everything in mobile maintenance. They do the planning of preventive maintenance to get the machines, to keep the machines running. And also they use it for repair. So for everyday and reactive business, and also for documentation, spare part handling, everything. So everything is now mobile maintenance. It's connected also with SAP, as you can see on the left. So these are only some masks that you can see. That's not important for you now, but these are the masks that they use. They're very easy. For example, this one, they just type in or scan a machine. I will show you that, and then it will show them all the spare parts that they need and everything. So this is the classical approach that we had. So the machine is running, now it stops. The employee calls maintenance technician who is still working on another machine, can't come. Second one cannot come and help. And then if the employee operator is lucky, the third one can then come to the machine. This makes no sense at all because you have a lot of dead time that you lose until you find a technician able to help you. So what we do with the mobile maintenance solution is the employee that notices that his machine breaks down and stops just gives the central mobile maintenance. As you can see, it's sent to all the digital devices that the people have, and then a response is coming from one. So everybody will know that this one responded, and it already took all the spare parts that were needed and for documentation. So this is all then paperless, and you can see machine is repaired, everything is documented, and we know exactly how our machines are doing. So we also have KPIs, all the KPIs that we needed. This is why we have a digital cockpit. In this digital cockpit, we have all the KPIs that we need, not only for mobile maintenance, of course, also for productivity and OE. But one part of it is, of course, the availability of the machines that we measure with these KPIs that I will show you in a sec. Okay, so this is a notification. So it's very easy to enter in the data in this form, and then it will be sent to a work center of your choice, or you'll make this choice. So it's easy to use with a clear overview and online tracking of all the activities, and all information is available. Okay, we have a live demo here real quick. So the machine is running with 100%. Now it stops. Then there's a production creates a notification. So there is a little time in between, of course, that we also do not measure in the mobile maintenance because we cannot, of course. The maintenance starts their work and the maintenance stops their work, and the machine runs with 100% afterwards. So there's time to react, mean time to react, there's mean time to repair. These are all the time to recover. These are all the KPIs that we use and that we can measure. So we know exactly what's going on in production. We have this online, of course. We also have it in our telephones and everything, so we can look how every machine is doing all the time. We have a couple of dead sites. This is the time that we do not capture, the time between the stop of the machine and the time between the new notification. Same is when the work is finished, how long it takes to put the machine up, to get the machine up and running. This is something that we develop at the moment, so we need KPIs for that still. And also we have every data is also linked to the machine. This is one example only. The machine, you see the QR code on the machine. So the maintenance technicians can use the scanner of the telephone and of the mobile device, and they scan and they have a complete maintenance plan and everything right away. And all the parts that they need are automatically also given. We have an automatic warehouse system where all the parts are already presented to the maintenance technician online, and he can get them also physically out of this solution that we use, automatic warehouse storage. So the scanning information. So this is then the levels, right? The level of detail. You see the plant maintenance dashboard, OIS and Lumira. So these are mostly KPIs that the management needs, that I need to find out how my production is doing at the moment and how it did yesterday, and to make a prognosis. We have also this maintenance dashboard. So here we track all the KPI and data that we need to plan also all maintenance actions and spare part handling. And we have a lot of analysis in Lumira, where we also analyze the KPIs. And as you can see, the maintenance team uses the Lumira analysis mostly. Management uses the KPI in OIS, and we have the shop floor management, which we do all the time, also in daily, weekly, and monthly rhythms to track our KPI data. Okay, so we increased efficiency. Of course, this is a big thing. If you have more than 50 maintenance technicians, then you have a very much easier organization, as you can imagine, and also our KPIs went up remarkably. So this was, for us, this was a very interesting tool, and it still gives us a lot of advantages, and we make a lot of more money than we did before. And you have to also remember that one walk from one end to my building to the end of the other, this is 6 minutes, right? So it takes a lot of time, and this has to be organized well. Otherwise, we lose a lot of time walking. Okay, that's it from my side. So I think I stick to the timing, and here I'm back. Okay, are there any questions?
I just want to remind that you can ask any questions to all of the speakers via the Q&A part in the lower part of the screen. So please type any questions, and then we will read them out aloud at 11:45. So thank you very much, Axel. It was a very illustrative and excellent presentation, and I think it shows very well how the technology can easily solve the problems that really were very difficult for technicians, for the companies. Thank you very much once again. And now I would like to introduce Patricio Esteban Saez, the CEO of Sigma Industrial Precision. Patricio, the floor is yours.
Hello, thank you. I will share my screen. Okay. Good day to everyone. I'm Sigma's CEO, Patricio Saez, and we are here to show you how we are developing our startup. We are a startup born in Barcelona 4 years ago, more or less, and we are focusing in electrical analysis for predictive maintenance and surveillance of industrial assets. We want to help our customers to have better results and avoid problems regarding maintenance. So going to the description that you have said before, the current situation, Slovakia being as one of the most industrialized countries in Europe, and Sigma, our company, one of the most disruptive startups regarding predictive maintenance and electrical analysis. So what we are doing, we are helping our customers to perform a more efficient, sustainable, and reliable maintenance to avoid major failures, increase the safety of the facilities, because we are looking for machines and electrical installations, and maintain them better. Also, we want to help them to anticipate incidents and unplanned downtime. And why? Industrial companies are investing heavily in order to avoid stops. But the preventive maintenance and the current strategies are not enough. And why? For instance, 82% of asset failures appears randomly. So it's difficult to find why is happening. Or 40% of preventive maintenance is performed in or not affecting the health of the machines. So there's a huge level of improvement here. So what we are doing to help our customers on that way, we are developing a platform for electrical and sustainable maintenance. We're installing these sensors in the electrical cabinets for different kinds of electrical machines or installations, and sending this data to the cloud, where we can analyze the data and identify existing problems and also prevent future failures. And what we are doing it through the electricity, because we have seen that the electricity is giving more flexibility, because we can analyze any kind of electrical machine. And we can also add the sustainability part, because we are analyzing the power and the energy, and also we can protect machines. If there's something coming from the power that can damage your machine, we can break the current and save your asset. So regarding or compared to other kind of technologies like vibration analysis, mainly for motors, or thermal analysis, electrical seems a better and a smart solution. Examples, we can analyze generators and electrical transformers, for instance, in order to see the quality of they are delivering, the quality of the energy that they are delivering to the machines. We can analyze also if they are overloaded or unbalanced, things that really damage these kind of machines. Or in electrical motors, from overheating, short circuits, current leakages, things that can damage and stop the motor that is connected to a pump, a compressor, a belt, any kind of electrical motor, and any kind of application. Or pure electrical machines like frequency drivers that can also be damaged and stop your production. To do so, we have defined 5 different levels of services, from the most simple, that is electrical monitoring, to the most advanced, that is predictive maintenance based in electrical analysis. And we are giving the option to our customers to do or to use the platform by itself. If you already have a conditioning monitoring the department for maintenance, for instance, you can go to electrical-based maintenance service or the surveillance and sustainability service. Or if you want or help in order to prevent future problems or identify electrical problems that are generating you losses, we can go with the diagnosis and electrical failures service. We have different kinds of sensors. We deliver a complete solution with the sensor and the cloud, the service and the analysis. Okay, and we have sensors that mainly analyze the current and the voltage, sensors that can also protect, and sensors that can also protect and re-switch on the installation if it's needed. Especially interesting if you have something, a machine, for instance, or an installation far away, and you want to know what happened, predict a potential failure, and switching on remotely if it's necessary. We are delivering also the IoT modules, communication modules, to integrate this communication and send it to the cloud. And we are sharing this information with any kind of SCADA, GMAO, MIE system, third-party applications. So in order to give a couple of examples, In here, we can see a water pumping station from one of our customers that was suffering stops. And we found that the electricity and the connection and the configuration of the drivers that were switching on the pumps were not well dimensioned, not well configured. So sometimes they were generating huge currents that were stopping the production. Another example is this installation where we have a switching cabinet between a backup generator and the electricity coming from the street. And we found that when there was the change from one system to the other, sometimes, depending on the situation, they had huge peaks of voltage that were stopping the production. So from an electrical analysis, we have identified different problems, and we have helped our customers to continue working and avoid this kind of stops. In the presentation that we can share, you will find more examples, but I want to finish showing you that we are a startup, but currently selling in Europe, mainly in Spain, Germany. We have customers in Mexico also, and first contacts for Jordan, Latin America. So if you are in Slovakia and you are interested in our solution, we can go in a conversation and look for a solution for you. We are focusing mainly in manufacturing and services, utilities, mainly in the water sector. We are being very successful there, but also in infrastructures, analyzing buildings and the power of the quality power that is powering your facilities. We have a very experienced company with a lot of people with a lot of know-how to share, and we are open to hear from you. And if you have any question, just let me know. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Patricio. Indeed, a very appealing and attractive presentation. And I also repeat or endorse to Slovak companies or to you, actually, when you are interested in the Slovak market, feel free to write me, and then we can try to support your business presence in Slovakia directly. So once again, a really very interesting thing. And now from your sensors, let's move to Sensoneo and to a really global leader in the smart industry, smart waste solutions from Slovakia. Very success story, very successful company from Slovakia. And Mr. Kolesar, as I see, is already ready. So the floor is yours.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Good morning to all. I will start sharing my screen with the first presentation. Just let me know whenever you see.
Yes, we can see your presentation. We can hear you clearly. So
right.
Let's start. Yes.
I will go into the presentation mode. Still, can you see? All right. Let me introduce our company, Sensoneo. We are a Slovakian-based company. Since 2014, we are producing and providing the complex smart waste management solutions to the global markets. As it was described, we are currently presented in more than 60 countries at the moment. We have ongoing more than 230 projects, as we have already established the Slovakian base and our R&D team.
Excuse me, Mr. Kolesar, because there was also a problem before with this kind of a showcase. Please, if you can click on this nastavenie zobrazenia and then change it from this presenter mode to to the second thing. Yeah, yes, now it's correct and everything's set fine. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you for the feedback. So coming to the R&D part, we have a full R&D team in Slovakia, in Bratislava, where we are developing our current hardware and software solutions. For the hardware components, we are using and utilizing all over the available IoT networks, so GPRS, narrowband, Cat-M, Sigfox, LoRa. We are working on the basis of the global partners. So in each country where we are presented, we have a local partner. So the local language is also important from our side to support these first level installations and first level support. And of course, from the back end, we are supporting our partners in that sense. We have been able to deploy the first narrowband application in the United States, which was powered by the Twilio and the T-Mobile. From that part, here you can see also on the bottom line some of our partners, important partners in each area. As for the presentation of all our capabilities, we are mainly focusing on the waste monitoring. And for that purposes, we have dedicated areas where we are focusing. So it's asset management, which is the combination of using the smart waste management system, which is on the top of the all data gathering and processing. Then we have kind of devices which are dedicated to each line. So this is the gray box, is the watchdog device, which is in general the kind of a GPS tracking positioning system, including the RFID, ultra high frequency RFID reader. And this gives us the opportunity to track and trace all the RFID tags deployed around the city municipalities. For the waste monitoring, we are using the ultrasound sensors. And this is also the combination of the smart waste management system analytics. And of course, for the getting into the interference with citizens, we are offering the citizen application. And then from the data, we are able to process all the reports and return on investment calculations for each city or municipality. Also for the waste collection companies, we are offering the big engine, such as route planning. Itself it is, in combination with the cost efficiency analysis and the driver navigation application. So we have all like complete package to cover from the identification of each waste spot in the household, in the public place and public spaces, up to the factories, where I will present you now in short the solution which we have developed together with colleagues. And this can be applicable also not only in the factory waste management, but as well in the facility management or some other public spaces where the waste is generated. So based on this, we have telling that, or we know that based on the data, we can make the improvements. And of course, the good decisions are driven by the data. So we are enabling this to make these truly good decisions. Coming to the factories and the waste, we know that each part of the production is generating some kind of the waste, which is of course important to track and trace. And based on this, we are capable to provide also the feedback to the supply chain, which can work further with the suppliers and sub-suppliers, how to optimize the packaging, and then of course the packaging costs and the disposal of these secondary materials which are generated during the production process can be then transferred and communicated to the supply chain. We know that the full bins are the problem. So not only in the manufacturing, in warehouses, in offices, in shopping malls, hospitals, and public places. So we are solving and trying to solve the main challenges of each waste manager in the manufacturing process. So we know that these four, let's say, points which we are solving is the delayed collection of the overflowing bins, which can disrupt the whole process and the production flow. Then we have unnecessary collections of the half-empty bins. This can disrupt the production line workforce and efficiency and utilization of this workforce. And of course, the unnecessary routes, which are wasting the overall time of the employees who are dedicated to these operations. And the fourth and the really important part of this is the lack of data. So after the evaluation of the data, we can talk about the volumes in the waste which is generated out of the production step, and this can be identified, supported by the data. So better quality of the service, and of course less resources are needed. So this is the main goal: how to optimize all the processes within the management of the factory of the waste. One of our solution, which we are capable to do within the 7 working days, we can help to implement the 5S solutions and implementation. So we are enabling this kind of a just-in-time waste collection, which can be done in automatic route scheduling, and this can eliminate the human tasks and forces. It will be able to calculate the routes within the factory floor using all the collected data and report it with each specific bin. Then we are reporting the fullness twice, so request it for the emptying and during the emptying process. And then we are gathering this feedback while it's on the route. Yeah, so each driver, or let's say the collector of the waste within the floor plan, who is getting this data, can provide the feedback whether the separation process is fulfilled, whether the let's say the process of the collection is as it's supposed to be, and then providing the feedback to the shift leaders, and how to train people to get the separation process more effective. Then we are capable to analyze the data per bin, per route, and per driver in the management report. Yeah, so this really helps to give the overall view on the waste management process as such. We have a simple waste solution, which is the notification of the fullness. This can be done in the manual way. So either each position can have the kind of a smart button. Oops, sorry. Smart button, which can identify the spot that the bin is full. So the operator, when he knows that he's putting the part of the separated waste to the bin, is going to be full during the shift, we just simply push the button and then it goes directly to the system, to the waste management system. And the operator knows that he will have to follow the schedule in the automated route planning system. Or it can be done in the bigger scale, that the bins are monitored by the ultrasound sensors. And this can recognize either plastic, paper, rubber, metal, all kind of waste which is generated during the production process. And then we have the just-in-time collection. We will know each and we can evaluate each route of this operator, who is then following the schedule of his route which is planned. This is how it looks, actually, the smart waste management system, which is basically utilized, and it is a detailed database of all the bins, which are including the trash types, capacities, each location, then the bin pickup points. Yeah, and the platform consolidates all the data from the smart buttons, from the sensors, and from the collection application. We have this operator management of the bin database and rules for the route planning and the whole fleet management inside the factory. And the dashboard provides the quick access to all the bins, planned, ongoing executing of the routes, pickups, and reports the full levels. So the operator has a full control over the waste collection and operation remotely. There are several multiple rules which can be incorporated in this overall planning and count on the different variables. So the engine is recalculating routes every minute to accommodate these new full bins, which are notified during the process. So for example, there is the example of the variable, so like a vehicle capacity, bin capacity, the trash type, and the bin type. So the bin must be emptied, for example, within the 60 minutes from the fullness notification. So the driver always has to take the oldest route available. And then the driver accept a new route only if the previous one was completed. So then the trash type, for example, A and B can be collected at once, but the type C has to be collected separately afterwards. Yeah, and then the trash type D is collected on demand, and type F is fixed frequency, 1 time per day, for example. And here we know that the collection app, which is available on the Android devices, this is designed for the operators and for the drivers. So collection application actually helps for these drivers to navigate during the premises and identify each bin position and the collection point. So the driver, as you can see in the next slide, he can provide this kind of feedback through the application, where he, based on the traffic light signaling, can add additional information of the fullness level. Yeah? So here, if he push basically the button, the red one, it means that it was the fully loaded and the service was used in a full-wise manner. He can also add additional notes. If he sees some discrepancies, he can take a picture and of course provide the additional information to the whole system. So if everything is under one roof, then we can generate from this information the report, which can be evaluated on the next day of the for example, shift meeting. Also, the analytical dashboard in this smart waste management system. So the operator follows everyday operations and analytics on every single bin. We can also evaluate every single pickup, the fulfillment level, and also the analytical executes the routes, length, the bins, the costs. Yeah. So the tailor-made reports in the smart analytics, we are of course happy to provide the additional source of the data to fully customize the dashboard. In the smart analytics, we are using the Click platform, and this can help to run the more efficient operation and report easy to the management purposes as well. And this full rollout is of course capable to do in the 7 days. Basically, this was quite it. And if you have further questions, then please don't hesitate to get back to me via email. Yeah.
Thank you very much. This was a very thoughtful and interesting solution to the waste management problem, which I think is a burning issue for everyone. Right now, I would like to welcome Borja Jara from MAPEX. Borja Jara is the head of business development. Please, Borja. I think you're on mute. Mark, can we unmute?
No, I think now it's working.
Perfect.
Okay, good morning. I'm Borja Jara, responsible of business development. So today we are going to do an introduction of MAPEX. Let me share the screen. Okay, can you see it? Can you confirm?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Good, thank you. So, well, MAPEX is a digital manufacturing software company. So we've been in the market for around, I would say, 21 years. We've been doing 500 projects so far, connecting thousands of machines and users. And we have operations in around 20 countries. This means that we have clients that have factories all around the world where we have done projects, okay? Our sectors, well, mostly we cover all of them, but we have some focus in fast-moving consumer goods, which group food and beverage, but also chemicals and other general manufacturing. And we are also really experts on automotive industry, okay? What is our mission? Well, we strive to digitize the factories to make the most of the data, to reduce costs and to improve the quality of the production. That's the main thing. That's what we try to do in all the projects. And our coverage as a company is quite worldwide. We are headquartered here in Spain, in Catalonia. And well, basically we are opening offices in France, in Mexico, and we are also building a strong partnership network around the world. This means that we are providing additional capabilities to deploy MAPEX software in many types of industries in many places around the world. Okay, so we are also able to provide 24/7 service to our clients. Where we are, well, we've got some players in many of the main industries. We are basically in two worlds, in the process manufacturing world, but also in the discrete manufacturing. And we basically cover and connect lines and machines from many diverse productive processes. So you can find MAPEX from a mixing productive process when you mix chemicals to an assembly process, or even to packaging and a bottling process. So we get basically knowledge from all these productive processes that helps us to provide added value and solve specific pains of our clients. Okay. Which is the path that we follow? First of all, we analyze the requirements. We take the pains that we need, that our clients need. So we try to focus on which are the factories they want to digitize. Then we focus on the productive processes with the pains of the productive process. And also we provide the mapping with our solution to solve all these needs. So this, as an output, has like a functional design, a functional or slash technical design, where we, let's say, it's kind of a blueprint where we define everything that is going to be deployed in the factories. Okay. Once we do this, we start with the digitizing. So we create the let's say the architecture just to take all the needed signals from the machines, so that we can, for example, get to know which are the main downtimes, which are the micro downtimes that affect the efficiency of the production. And then, of course, this may imply sometimes that we have to connect to all machines, that sometimes it's not easy to get the signals. So in those cases, we install new devices, new PLCs, where we can digitize all the information. And with some brand new factories, sometimes we find really easy communication protocols that we can use, like OPC server, where we can get all the information. Okay. What happens next? Well, we start controlling these KPIs. We create KPIs in real time so that the operators, the back office users, and everyone can see the real picture of the factory and take better decisions, which is the final aim that we are trying to get, just to comply with the mission, which is reduce costs and take actions to improve the productivity. Okay. Also, we are like a source data for any business intelligence systems that the client may have. For example, if you have Power BI or MicroStrategy, whatever, we can also send this production data to the system so that they can gather it and centralize that information. Okay. And as you will see now, we also have an internal business intelligence module, just in case you want to explode all the data inside MAPEX. Okay. You can see MAPEX. All of you that perhaps you haven't or you don't know manufacturing execution systems, we are right in between the OT level, so machines, all the hardware from the factory, and the corporate world. So we are like a bridge. We push all the data from the ERP, like production orders, routines, master data of products. We download all this information to MAPEX. Then, as the operations run in the factory, we gather timings, we gather productions, consumptions, everything, and then we wrap up all this information and we send it directly to the ERP. This is totally automated, so we avoid lots of timings from certain people of the factories to access to the ERP and so on. MAPEX basically is a unique platform. You can see it like a puzzle. So we have the main module, which is the production. This is the one that connects to the ERP and also to the machines. So you can see this like the bridge. And then we have satellites, which are pieces that you can be adding to the puzzle, like, for example, the traceability. Traceability helps to register consumption batches with the productions. This way, if you have a complaint from a client, you can track backwards to see what happened or which materials did you use for that specific production. Quality module helps us to remove all the papers from the factory and digitize the quality controls that in any factory of the world you should be doing for the products. Okay, also all the machine checklist and so on, this can be compiled inside this module. Then we also have the maintenance. Maintenance is a GMAO or a CMMS software, which is embedded in our platform that helps you manage all the correctives and all the preventives of the machines. This is really relevant because some colleagues said previously, of course, you should avoid to get to the machine broken down, right? So we try to put in place some preventives, and also across the time, when you have certain data, you can start identifying some patterns and deploy some predictive capabilities on top of it. Okay. We also have the IoT platform. The IoT platform helps you to register all the process variable data. So if, for example, you have an oven that should be running, the temperature should be running between 2 thresholds, the system registers all this information and warns you in the case that you are crossing some of the limits. This is one of the main characteristics of the module. We also provide a scheduling module. This is just for the clients that they want to have some business rules to schedule the orders inside a line or a machine. Sometimes this is done directly in the ERP. Sometimes the responsibility goes to us. So we can cover this also. And then the rest of the modules are document business intelligence reports, help us to the final aim, which is exploiting the data and get real-time information that help us to take better decisions in the factory. Okay, this is let's say the leverage that will help to reduce costs and to improve the efficiency. Okay. Which are the benefits of having this type of system in place? Well, we have commented some of them, but basically, first of all, paperless factory. We remove all the papers from the factory. We increase the productivity because we provide the real picture of your, let's say, of the bad points or the bad behaviors that you have in the factory. You can realize about all of them so that you can produce more with the same resources, or you can produce the same with less resources. Okay. Quality improvement in our regulatory compliance. This comes directly with this type of systems because you register everything, and this helps you for all the internal audits, external audits, and to be compliant with the different regulatory compliance of that specific industry. Okay. Regarding maintenance, you avoid breakdowns. Avoiding breakdowns means less costs. So you plan all these preventives and you manage to do this in an efficient way. And finally, reliable data that, well, for both back office users and also shop floor users can take better decisions in many areas that, depending on the industry, you can have. Okay, so this is all. Hope this was interesting for you. Please don't hesitate to do any questions.
Thank you, Borja. Again, not only interesting, but very appealing, and I'm pretty sure that your kind of company won't be lost also in the Slovak market. I really liked it and enjoyed your presentation. Again, very, very nice. Now we are in the half of the second session. Free solution providers, free companies already presented, and free are still ahead of us. The next is going to be Asek Kotseit and Miss Dana Hrubošová, business development manager of this company from Slovakia. I can see you right now, and I'm passing the floor to you, Dana.
So hello everyone, hopefully you can hear me without any issues. Let me just share my screen with you. Just a second. Yeah, you should see it by now.
Yes, it's okay.
Yeah, okay. Let me just put it on the full screen. And it's coming. Yeah, so We are a technology partner of industrial companies, and in TAID we try to connect the physical world of industrial systems and intelligent digital tools in order to increase the productivity and competitiveness of the customers. We provide our customers with increased productivity in the field of logistics and production automation, planning or optimization in many industries. We have a long tradition, built reputation in the industry, and we have a nice background of a strong global ASECO group partner. We try to develop most of the systems ourselves. Well, in the digital factory division where I belong, we focus on optimization of production and logistics processes, which is something that I would like to speak about today. When it comes to digitization or creation of the copy of the real factory, we come across many customers that try to provide changes within their companies by trial and error, which usually cost them so much time and money, and it turns out not to be as effective as first the changes are implemented in a virtual world or a 3D world, and this is something that we focus on. We always advise our customers to create a digital copy of their factories, because we believe that it's always better to have a reflection of a real company where you can actually make changes, provide analyses, and prior to any implementation of the real changes, you can have the main or the most important question answered, which is what happens if this and this changes within the company. And as the basic pillar of the systems is the good quality data, which sometimes happen to be stored in somewhere in the shelves or in cloud, not properly used. And this is something that we are trying to avoid by using the data that most of the customers have and put it in our system, which is called TAID table for this presentation. You will see the real use of the system. What we actually do in the system, we take control of the full company or the full production, and we try to create the hierarchical structure of the data, which somehow become very powerful and interactive once fitted with the correct data. And you can see every single detail of the tree structure of the company. And basically, the more data you upload, the more options you have, and the system is very intuitive and comprehensive. So you can just play as much as you like in the system to build up the structure that you wish to have and the changes that you wish to implement later in the future stages. The system TAID table is aimed to solve the conceptual issues, to design workplaces, operators, and all of the other areas. And we collect the data, like we started with the CAD data, which is the layout of the factories. And then we take into account all of the other data, like production volumes or any other data that are available in the production, let's say. And then it's up to the customer to decide whether to control the full plant or just go in the specific areas like the layout or the production or the logistics or the warehouse, or take it all at once. This is a preview of any plant, basically. Every single customer is different, so we try to customize the solutions to the customers. And as I said, we can change the design of the workplaces, operators. We look into material and information flows, or even service activities. And our digital tools enable us to implement the quality solutions in also the virtual environment. We can check the details of standard material flows, optimize these processes, and so on. Let's just break this into small parts. In table system, we can focus on small areas, or as I said, we can focus on the whole picture. Once started with the design, we can play with the spatial dispositions or so-called layout of the company, which can be also very important in most cases on customer side. In 3D environment, we create the models of the machines or workplaces or any specific areas. And one of the advantages of the system is that we also take the physical properties of the machines or the equipment, and we just prevent the machines from overlapping. We look into the servicing areas, the workplace areas of its own. We control the collisions. You can also take a virtual tour through the workspace and so on. Based on the number of workplaces or the necessary technologies and technological processors, it's possible to design a rough layout of the planned production hall. We can support the design of production, logistic systems. We can take a close look into parts planning, details planning, capacity optimization. We can set the production volumes and optimize the volumes for a day, for a week, or for the full year. We can play with the data. We can really find optimized flows within the company. We can redesign the current layout, optimize any flows, capacity verification. We can verify the capacities of the workplaces. We can even take a close look into the personnel, which is somehow unique verification of the workspace itself. We can take a close look as in an individual operators, let's call them like that. Or we can take a look at the whole workplace area, the line, or any other possible layout design. We can define and parameterize the operations. We can take a close look on the time management and break down the tasks of the operators, which, if as you can see here in the top right corner, you can utilize the operators, and you can see an edit or not edit value of their tasks. And as we all know, some tasks must be provided even though they don't add any value to the workstation or workplace. And you can also create a dot plan and take a look at how much time they spend on walking and so on. You can visualize their movements and so on. The same thing is to operate, to dimension their capacities, standardize the operations. You can take a close look at the ergonomic evaluation of the workplace. You can take into consideration the ergonomic standards and observe whether the workplace is safe and healthy for the operator. You can break the tasks. You can monitor basically the full line, schedule their activities, and based on the ergonomic principles, we can also work with things like working positions, manipulation of loads, repeated actions, and evaluate any ergonomic principles of the workplace. Basically, the system evaluate any data that's fed in it, and from the production point of view to the logistics point of view, we can basically plan the whole plans and provide specific analyses, recalculations. We can visualize the layout, the routes. We can avoid collisions that may happen in any processes. We can parameterize and visualize any material flows, transport flows, You can define the rules. You can even tell the system the spaces that are not available for any equipment or personnel, let's say. We can do also the capacity verification of the technologies. We can calculate the technology that's necessary for specific areas, all for or full plan, the production hall. We can calculate the needs for handling equipment, not just the automated vehicles, but also manually operated vehicles. We can evaluate the transport flows. It's really an interactive evaluations of changes within the production and the logistics. We can also take a close look into warehouses. Some of our customers were unable to design and connect the warehouses or supermarkets to the production area, and this is where we also focus some of our systems and recalculations. We take a close look into the design of the warehouses. We can also design the supermarkets. We can really recalculate and evaluate the spatial design, storage space area, the warehouse areas, the racks, shelves, calculate the storage needs. We can also create a virtual tour of the warehouse if that's the requirement coming from the customer, and the capacity verification of operators needs in the warehouse as well as the spatial layout. And ABC classification is one of the standards also in the system. What's the benefits of the system? The biggest, I would just say, is the efficiency, reduction of costs for documentation, analysis, accuracy of processing, storage of information of objects. Based on the experiences that we have, we improved the quality of design, increased design reliability. The creation of 3D models is a standard of our system. Virtual movement around production facility and workplaces. One of the biggest advantages is identification and detection of bottlenecks and collisions. And as I said, we answer the question, what happens if something changes within the production or the logistics? And prior to the implementation of the changes in the real world or the real production, you actually save time and money, and you benefit from this because you have this in the system. And also the assessment of the ergonomics and health and safety point of view is also very important. Maybe simple and accurate monitoring and control of the movement of objects, and supporting the development of the knowledge of the 3D scanning, digitization, modeling, simulation, and also we have a full support of the virtual and augmented reality tools. And yeah, I would just say these are the most biggest advantages and benefits coming from our system. And there was a huge amount of customers asking for this kind of solutions, and we implemented many of these things just recently within this year to our customers and the projects that we had. So I hope this was just very brief introduction to the systems that we have, and if you have any questions, just let me know.
Thank you very much, Dana. It was a very practical tour. And right now I'll give the floor to Mr. Raul Ragones, Chairman and Business Development Officer of AEI Innova.
Hello, good morning to everyone. A pleasure to connect to the session. Let me run the presentation and share my screen. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, do you see the,
that's perfect.
the steam of the machines moving? Okay.
That's perfect.
Perfect. So thank you very much. I'm Raúl Aragonés. I'm the business developer of alternative energy innovation. And basically, I'm going to present how we are changing the way of digitalizing big plants, big energy demanding plants with the least cost and environmental impact. First of all, let me introduce how the technology works. So basically, we are energy harvester converters. So we convert the heat of any process into clean energy. Just to take any numbers, just in the European Union, it is lost more than 21% of our energy needs in form of industrial waste heat. So big energy demanding industries like iron and steel, like oil and gas, cement, ceramics, glass, they lost more than the 2/3 of their energy consumption in form of heat. And basically what we have done is taking benefit of a very well-known technology that is working right now in the space, basically in the Voyager spacecrafts and, for example, in the new Perseverance rover that now is exploring Mars. We're using the same principle of converting heat, but in this case from waste heat into clean energy. And with this energy, basically, what we do is to generate a battery-less and free of maintenance IoT devices. For example, in this case, we have three parts: the thermoelectric generator that converts heat from 50 degrees Celsius into clean energy, that gives electricity to a vibration sensor, a temperature sensor, or any any third-part sensor that sends data using very far long-range wireless protocols. In this case, narrowband IoT, LTE, CAT-M, or LoRaWAN protocols to our cloud platform. So basically, we are overpassing all the drawbacks of the common wireless IoT devices that are in the market. Basically, when we are speaking about wireless, we're speaking about devices that are fully powered by lithium batteries, and that means they have a very limited life of just, for example, 3,000 milliamperes hour. That means you can only use this energy for this limited period of time, and basically this limits the distance to send the data. Basically, typically the wireless devices that are powered by battery sends data for up to 50 meters, 60 meters, 100 meters, like, for example, using wireless HAR ISA 100 wireless protocols. In our case, like, we don't have any limitation on energy because we are continuous powered by heat. We can send data very far, for example, using a LoRa or narrowband up to 22 kilometers of coverage. So the reduction in the investment in the gateways inside the facility is very dramatically low. Also, we can send data practically in real time. So you can monitor data and send data every 1 minute, for example, instead of sending data once a day or twice a day, like typically all the wireless devices does. Also, these devices, like, they are fully powered by heat, they can implement edge computing algorithms. That means instead of sending data to the cloud and do all the effort in computation in the cloud, we're basically moving this computation to the edge. And that basically means a significant reduction in costs, reduction of more than 90% of cloud computing costs are moved to the device, because the device is fully powered, it's fully capable of processing data. And also the last thing, explosive environments like oil and gas, chemical plants, food plants are not very well received the typical IoT devices that are fully powered by lithium, because lithium is explosive. So they have a lot of limitations to become more digital. And this equipment is fully certified by ATEX. That means you can install them in explosive environments. So basically, these are the main advantages. So let me show to you several use cases in the industry here in Spain and also in France. For example, this is a leakage plant, a biogas plant in Ferrovial. They are generating from the biogas, they're burning the biogas and they're generating energy from the biogas. And we are basically monitoring vibrations for doing condition monitoring. You can see here the thermoelectric device that converts heat into electric power, the IoT device that generates all the process, all the data. And here in this pump, we have the vibration sensor, the 3-axis vibration sensor. This another plant. It is a chemical plant. Here it's Aircross. The same approach. So they want to monitor in this blower. They want to basically do in this combustion fan. Sorry, they want to monitor vibration in real time. In this case, they are using LoRa in the first case, and the second case they're using narrowband IoT. You can see the three elements: the thermoelectric generator that is working at 70 degrees Celsius, the IoT device that is here, and finally the vibration sensor that is attached to one of the parts of the motor. In this case, this equipment performs the fast Fourier transformation. That means the spectrum of the vibration every 1 minute, and you can analyze from 0 hertz to 1 kilohertz of vibration, all the magnitudes in all the spectrum. So it's very, very interesting for this kind of industries, for this application. Another use case in oil refinery in Repsol, the thermoelectric generator in this attached to this oil cooling pipeline, the IoT device and the vibration sensor. This is a gas compressor. And in the rear part, in the below part, in Sacir Valoriza, this is a plant of manufacturing asphalt, ecologic asphalt from the tires, from the wheels, and the same approach. So they have several parts with heat, so they attach the heat converter, and this heat converter powers the IoT and the vibration sensor. Here we have the same approach with two devices for powering a vibration sensor and a PT100 sensor, a temperature sensor, and basically the two IoT devices. So the same approach is always the same. So three elements, and this data goes to the next stage, that is the cloud computing. And then other use cases, for example, this is a ventilator fan. This is a subway in Barcelona. This is what they found one morning, 3 a.m. in the morning, a ventilator of 300 kilograms that falls down from the roof of the tunnel, basically due to vibration. They are performing manual vibrations every day. So they have 745 ventilator fans. They do this process twice a month per ventilator, and they has only discrete measurement of this ventilator. What we have done is the first autonomous IoT vibration sensor, fully powered by wind. So the blades of the ventilator move the blades of our turbine, micro turbine, and this all-in-one device is completely attached to the ventilator, and they have in real time, using LoRa, the vibration of this ventilator. So they are passing from 2 measurements per month, practically 1 measurement per minute. And this an autonomous system with no maintenance, no battery to change twice a year, so it's completely self-power. And this is another approach for measuring volumes in silos here in a cement company. But this is scalable for grain, sand, and so on. It's fully powered by sun. It incorporates in 2 different kinds of monitoring. One is using LiDAR, and the other is using ultrasounds. And basically, all of them are using narrowband IoT with GPS, so they have the full location of this volume. This is a pilot. Will be scalable at the end of this 2021. And just for the monitoring, so we are basically representing all the data in this IoT platform. It is in the cloud using our AWS from Amazon. All the employees can create their own dashboards. Basically, they can create all their own alerts. They can activate predictive maintenance algorithms in practically all the sensors. And this is one of the first batteryless vibration sensor and also temperature sensor. It has a very, very good environmental impact with a reduction of more than 98% of the environmental impact due to water, due to heat, and due to carbon emissions. So you can calculate in real time your environmental impact of your deployment using our devices inside the plant. If we speak about costs, these are significant savings. If just we comparing the cost of the purchasing of the sensors compared to other wireless solutions and other wireless solutions, if we compare in the cost of maintenance, in wireless infrastructure, like we are using very long range wireless instead of low range wireless, the cost in deployment in the network is quite significantly low, 80% for LoRa and 95% compared with narrowband IoT. And in regard with the cost of maintenance, so in the substitution of the battery and the cost of the maintenance guy that needs to stop the machine, remove the battery, and suppress it and substitute the battery, it's a savings of 150. It's a mean value every year per sensor. Our company has the CE mark and also the ISO 9000. And this basically the final savings in form of environmental impact from, if we compare a facility, an oil and gas facility with 10,000 devices and the same using our batteryless devices, there's a significant reduction in form of carbon emissions, in water, in electricity and heat, basically. And well, the company Innova has 21 high qualified employees. We have 5 R&D projects with the European Commission, from LIFE projects and Next 2020 and so on, and several international awards. The last one in the Hannover Messe, being one of the top global companies in the industrial IoT. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Raul. Thank you for your presentation. I really admire several use cases included in there. I like that. And now we are slightly coming to a very last presenter of our webinar and of this second session. You have still a few more minutes to write your questions down to Q&A if there are any. If not, doesn't matter. We had there some time buffer at least saved for our speakers. So now the very last one, Mr. Juraj Tomlin from company T Industry from Slovakia. So please, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Marek. Thank you, Michal, for this opportunity to meet together on this webinar. I would like to start my presentation. I hope that you can see it. I would like to briefly introduce my team and our company, T Industry. We are purely research and development company on the market since 2002, almost 20 years, and we are trying to make applied research and development of different smart technologies, different smart modules, healthy modules, etc. I will show you a brief information on the next slides.
Right, can you please put it on the presentation mode?
Can you see my presentation?
Yeah, but if you can put it on the presentation mode so we can see it full screen, it would be.
Yeah, it is. I hope that it is full screen. Or not? Yeah, it is full screen.
Okay, so let's keep it like that. Okay.
Okay. We have expertise and experience in these topics and in these fields. Smart city, where we manufacturing and development different smart concentrators for smart grids. Mainly, we are now focusing for small local grid controllers for renewable energies. We have experience in smart street lighting solution. In next slides, a little bit more. Telemetry solution for data acquisition and industrial measurement, where we are trying to focus on data acquisition of different data and different input values in factories, warehouses, energy sector, substations, etc. We are active and we are producing for our partners IoT modules and IoT gateways, open RTLS technologies for indoor tracking and indoor positioning, and as well we are offering all of these solutions for our customers as a service. Smart street lighting solution or lighting control solution also for indoor Apollo 2 systems. The key features is that we try to be independent of the light producer, of the bulb producer. We are just focusing to manufacture and sell the solution as a platform where the customer can use different type of lights with daily or with analog input ballast, and we try to offer the mesh radio communication protocol. It is our own protocol based on 868 megahertz ISM band, and it is self-healing and self-configuration protocol where the module in the lamp can be also the repeater, and this can offer the possibility to make a big network of hundreds lamps, not only outdoor lamps like the street lamps, but as well as the lamps in factory or warehouse. We provide our software, and it is fully web-based and cloud-based possibility to control each lamp, group of lamps, to have the feedback from the lamps, also to set up the properly level of the lights in-house installation for factories and this type of application. Whereas it is easy to know where the solution of streetlights can be installed. Smart cities, smart lighting, housing areas, everywhere where the lights should be controlled and managed for energy efficiently, and also for security reason, because the system can be interconnected with smart city systems for different type of issue, like problem on the roads or injuries, where it can be automatically the lamps can be automatically switched on, and the level should be dimmed for 100%, etc. Smart metering concept. We have prepared concept for different meters: electricity, water, gas, heat for housing, but as well for Industry 4.0, where we can implement this solution to measure and meter properly the consumption of different machines or different assets, and it is very easily to implement, and all the data are stored directly in the DAVE 2 module, where can be generated information for billing if it is in housing areas or in offices, and if it is directly in Industry 4.0 platform, it is a way how can reach the management, the savings, and then know the consumption of each machine, each asset, and know during the night shift, during the day shift, etc.
Excuse me, Juraj, are you still on the slide number 2? Because we can still all see now slide number 2 out of 9 slides.
I am on the slide number 4, I think.
4, so maybe try to change it or click on it somehow, because I still can see only experiences and expertise slide number 2, and I understood that you moved forward in your presentation already.
I will try again. I am now here.
Now it's fine. Smart metering concept. Now it's perfect, and also full screen. Okay, go.
Okay,
go.
sorry, but
no problem. No problem.
You are screen sharing. Yes. Okay. This is the concept about smart metering as I presented. Areas of usage, business building areas, malls, housing areas as well, spas. We have very good expertise in big thermal spa in Slovakia, as well as in factories and warehouses for Industry 4.0. The last one, telemetry solution concept, telemetry unit. It is a platform for data acquisition from different PLCs, from different I/O modules with IoT uplink. We have implemented 5 years ago classic GSM, classic modem. Now we have narrowband IoT uplink as well as Sigfox uplink. This solution, it's much more and deeply for special application in energy sectors, in power plants, in substation, microgrid operators. We have a lot of experience in our nuclear power plant in Jaslovské Bobonice in Slovakia, as well as grid operator of Slovak electricity network. Areas of use, all issues in energy sector can be solved with this telemetry unit. It is very multifunctional and very open for customization of different requirements of the energy issues. I would like to thank you for your attention, and if you have any question, feel free to ask me, do not hesitate. And again, I would like to thank for this possibility to be with you and can tell you a few words about our expertise and experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Juraj. It's very interesting. We have a first question to Ms. Hrubošová. Mrs. Diana Pohovičová asks, I would like to ask Ms. Hrubošová from ASECO CIT, which Industry 4.0 tools do you consider the most important that smart factories should have in order to maintain their competitiveness and meet the requirements of the fourth industrial revolution? Dana, if you can please ask this question.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, could you please read the question again? I didn't catch the start of the question.
Sure. So the question is, which Industry 4.0 tools do you consider the most important? The most important in the meaning that the smart factories should have them in order to maintain their competitiveness and meet the requirements of the fourth industrial revolution. So basically, what for Industry 4.0 tools should the smart factories have to be competitive?
Well, I do believe, based on my experiences, that the digitization is the most important thing to start with when it comes to Industry 4.0. And based on that, you can actually extend the tools and everything else around. So that can be as many as you can really imagine.
Okay. Thank you very much. We've exceeded the time a little bit, but it was really fascinating to see all the different approaches to Industry 4.0. I'm afraid we've exceeded like 20 minutes, so very sorry for this small change, but I hope you all enjoyed this event. I would like just to sum up and thank you to all the speakers that have participated in the session. Thank you to all the audience. And last but not least, thank you to Sario team that was really wonderful to work with. And I really do hope that it will be one of the first one of the whole series of the events and actions we could do to bring together Catalonia and Slovakia. I would like to remind all the public that you still can contact us if you have any questions. This time we won't do any networking session directly, but please feel free to write us, to contact also directly with the speakers. It will be possible because in a couple of days we will publish the video and the presentations with all the data. So please don't hesitate to contact us if you wish to speak to any of the speakers, or if you have any questions regarding Slovakia or Catalonia. So once again, thank you very much, and it was really a pleasure, and hope to see you soon.
Yes, exactly. A few words only from my side as well. I hope that this event has fulfilled your expectations, and you know now at least a little bit more about the smart industry ecosystems in both Catalonia and Slovakia. Michal, also thanks to you, to your colleagues from Catalonia Investment and Trade, to ASIO, to Marc for technical support. And I will only repeat that if any company attracted your attention to that extent, you want to be in a commercial contact with them, feel free to contact Michal or myself in case of Catalan or Slovak companies. Please follow also our social media for potential follow-ups. There is going to be a written report and also the recording available. So that would be it. Thank you once again and have a nice day. Thank you.